watch the breakdown.
I actually hate jingles at the start of podcasts.
Really?
I hate them. I'm just like, get into it.
Okay, well, let's get straight into it. Welcome back to another episode of In Focus with Jones Road, where we talk all things video marketing for small to medium-sized businesses. I'm Ben, and as always with me, Tasha Masters.
Oh, you're finally getting my last name right.
Yeah, look, it's taken a bit of an adjustment period. It's only taken, 11 months?
Yeah, but you're finally getting used to it. I'm slowly getting used to it as well, to be honest.
Tasha McMasters.
No, I said that to someone today. That sounds like something you order at McDonald's. You're like, I'll have 3 McMasterses, please.
Oh, yes, please.
And a frozen Coke.
Yum, yum, yum. Look, we returned from the summer holidays. We did a podcast at New Year's, but this is the first one kind of back in the swing of things, isn't it, really? For most people. For us, we never actually took really much of a break.
No, this is a really, really busy time of year for us, so we don't really get any kind of holiday, do we?
No.
That's okay.
It's okay. We took a few days off. Went down to Palmy. Shout out to the 06.
Yeah, we had 3 or 4 days off, which is quite nice. It's had a
Look, it's
day off.
not 3 or 4 weeks like most people do, but I feel like I'm finally starting to see how unproductive New Zealand is this year. It's like my eyes have been opened.
Yeah.
I've never really noticed it before.
Yeah, I think that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
That's not Jones Road.
Definitely.
That's probably another type of podcast. But yeah,
That is what it is. So look, back on deck. Today we thought we'd just have a bit of almost a general kind of catch up, touch on a few current affairs. Bit newsy.
bit newsy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I guess the most pressing thing, hot off the press.
TikTok was banned and now is back.
So can I don't really watch the news and stuff like that, which is not great sometimes. So I'm a little bit out of touch with what's actually going on. Like what's driven this? Where's it come from? Is it going to last?
Well,
Just can you give me a buddy summation?
yeah,
of the
and
situation?
again, I haven't done much research into this, but this is just from
Well,
what
it's
I
helpful.
know. Is that the US were going to ban TikTok unless they would sell to a US owner.
Okay.
They obviously refused to do that. So
Like Chinese.
they're Chinese, yeah.
China.
They obviously refused to do that. What's happened is obviously Trump is going to be coming in as president. He has committed to finding a way to work with TikTok, which is actually, if I think about this, and this has just come to my head now, wasn't Trump the one that instigated the whole "we want to ban TikTok"?
I don't know.
think he
I don't know
was.
because he's all about like American produced stuff, right?
Yeah, but now he's
Like
like, we
American
want to
radio.
find a way to get it back. Anyway, so what's happened is that obviously it's gone through, they banned TikTok, that happened, and then I think maybe 12 hours later, they now haven't banned TikTok because they know that President Trump's obviously about to come into office.
Yeah.
And he has said that he will find a way to work with them, that if they allow TikTok to continue in the US, that they won't face any repercussions. So he's come out and said, look, you can carry on here because when I get into power, nothing will happen to you. So it's back. But it wouldn't be back, I don't think, if Trump obviously wasn't coming into power. But it's been for those people, their livelihood is on TikTok. TikTok creators. It's been a massive, massive kind of whirlwind for them, especially in a country like the US. I know there's other platforms, but I found it really, really interesting, like just gone overnight. It's what I always say, don't let the platforms dictate.
Yeah, well, there's not many industries that you'd work in where you literally your livelihood could be taken away so quickly and almost without. For USA banning it, for the government, not much recourse, right? Like, I mean, doesn't really affect them at the country, but it does affect, like you say, the people who put a livelihood on it. Must be thousands of people.
There are, like, in small businesses and, people, you've got small businesses who advertise on TikTok, but then you've got people who are what you call, like, TikTok creators, and that is their sole income.
Yeah.
Like, they're
They've created, like,
sole
agencies with, 10 people working behind the scenes about creative ideating,
Exactly.
filming, post-production, all that stuff.
And I think maybe that's what they don't understand. They just think it's a mum who's staying at home that's like having a bit of a go on TikTok maybe and trying to get some cash from it. It's like, no, these are full-fledged businesses here that you're just decimating overnight.
Yeah.
So it's been, but now it's back. So, at the time of recording this podcast, it's back. So
We'll see where we sit in a week's time.
yeah,
Hey, look,
exactly.
they've always got boomergram when TikTok goes, so yeah. Do you feel like Instagram's getting a bit boomery?
Like Facebook did.
Yeah. I think it's slowly heading that way out, but
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a TikTok girl, am I? So I would go on Instagram really.
yeah.
Just
Fringe boomer.
French boomer.
This is a good. I haven't done. Someone could let us know. Are there any new emerging social media platforms? Because I feel like
There
it's
is,
just
yeah.
been like these big ones for so long now, and usually you would see something else pop up.
Well, we had Threads, remember, which is from Instagram, which I don't think is particularly taken off. But again, I might be the wrong demographic.
Yeah, I still see them popping up, and I'm clicking on my feed and going, "Oh, you need to log into Threads." I'm like,
I know.
that's too much for me, mate.
There is an alternative to TikTok which the US companies developed, and it's called not the Red Room. It's called
Boom Room.
no. It's called, oh my god,
Byte.
no.
Byte Dance.
There is an alternative to TikTok.
Okay.
Have you also noticed that Instagram has changed the look of the feed to be portrait?
I've got no idea. Has it?
Correct. So they've taken.
What do you mean,
it looks
portrait?
like a reel now.
Hang on, public
Yeah.
breaks, because look. I had no. Wow, yeah, I didn't even notice it. I've gone.
Yeah.
Oh, is it portrait? Or is it more like a?
It's not
a
square.
4x5.
It's a I can tell you what, it's not squared.
Yes, if you're not square, shit.
So that's interesting, and I just need to pump the brakes because I have to find out what this alternative to TikTok is called.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. While you find that, I'll just go off a bit of a tangent here. It's just it's interesting. We've talked about this a few times now about how the platforms sort of dictate what content we're creating. Hang on, you've got it. What is it?
Red Note.
Red Note.
Red Note. What is Red Note? It's a Chinese app that US TikTok refugees are flocking to.
It sounds a bit close to RedTube, but
yeah, Red Note. So that is owned by China as well.
helpful.
Yes, so it's actually not US. So take that back. It's not a US equivalent. It is owned by China, Red Note. So that's what everyone's going to now. But yeah, I agree with you in terms of the platforms dictating content, which we speak about all the time, and I talk to my clients about this all the time.
Yeah.
Is that it should be your... There's two ways of looking at this. Well, not two ways of looking at it, but there's a couple of things to think about. The people are on the platforms, and you need the people to see your content, okay? So that is what it is, okay?
Where the attention, that's where the eyeballs are.
Correct.
Unfortunately, for those of us who don't enjoy doing it.
But you're right, that's where the eyeballs are. But are they the right eyeballs? And that's what I always say to our client, is that the eyeballs are there, are they the right eyeballs? It's all well and good to have a presence on all of these platforms, and I would encourage our clients to have a presence on all of these platforms. Absolutely, right? But it's not just about saying TikTok's really popular, we need to get on TikTok immediately. Like, it's about looking at what's your business offering, what's your brand, and who buys from you, and what's going to appeal to them. And I think, unfortunately, what's been a little bit missed is that kind of value-added educational piece. Like, if you think about like a a lot of people that do personal branding really well.
Yeah.
It's very much about education and informing their audience, right?
Yeah,
so let's take a mortgage broker, for example. So mortgage broker really invest in their personal branding. And as part of that, they're giving value and they're giving advice and they're giving free educational content, right? Short snippets. Now what?
And they're not creating a hype reel of the new car that I bought.
No.
Because they've been successful at business, which no one really gives a shit about.
No.
But it looks cool.
But it's educate. Or what I should say, taking a step back maybe, is that they're not creating short form hype content about all of the successes that they've had within their business and the interest rates they can get, and going, oh, I get 3.5% from Barclays, or I get this, or whatever it means, or ASB, whatever it is.
Multinational podcast.
Multinational podcast. So good at appeal to both users. But anyway, the point is that they are giving educational content out, right? What I think has been missing a little bit now, and some businesses do this very well, is that education piece, giving value to your clients and your customers, right? That might not end up in a direct sale, but it's constantly just giving that educational advice. I know you've got to be careful around the term advice, but it's around giving value.
Insights.
Insight. People who run that, I would call mortgage brokers, some insurance advisors, real estate agents can be really good at that. Businesses don't tend to be. They focus on, cool, we need to get eyeballs, we need to gain awareness of our business and of our brand. That's kind of where they put their focus. But there's a massive...
And if hopefully someone buys.
Yeah, but there's a massive piece around, and I can understand it, if you look at a marketing budget, because it's like you're not going to get a quick win and you're not going to get a quick return from it. But that real chunky bit in the middle is where you get loyalty.
Yeah.
And that's what you're looking for, right? You don't want these big spikes that go up and down. You want to have loyalty and you want to have loyal customers, and then it just allows for brand building. So I wonder whether the fact that TikTok, whether it's back or whether it's not, people can now see the frivolity of it. And how frivolous it can be, whether they will therefore then invest in something a bit more meaningful.
Yeah, it's a good point. And I always wonder, like, when these companies are creating these campaigns for the short form content, how they're measuring success and as views and likes, like a good
But it's sales.
measure that by.
Well, it depends.
If you look at like an overall trend in sales, are we going up? And can we say that this is because we're doing short form content? I don't know. It just seems like sometimes people think it's like the cool thing to do, and so they do it. And then sometimes they kind of tell their bosses or whatever, like, this is what's trending at the moment. Everyone else is doing it, so everyone just jumps on the bandwagon.
But what is it? I just think look at your audience, okay? Look at your audience. I'll take an example with horse right, thoroughbred or standardbred or
we're
whatever.
just coming out of the horse
We're really in our horse season at the moment, so it's obviously the first thing that's going to spark to my mind, right? You need to have, and I literally said this to a client the other week, you need to have that cool, sexy stuff that you see on Instagram and all that great. And that's great because that's your brand, right? And people like shiny things and they like to look at cool things, right?
Pretty horses.
Great. Oh, that looks great. Oh, you know what I mean? That's awesome. But actually, the people that are buying your product, okay, at the moment are here. They're not here. So what are we doing for these guys? You know what I mean? They'll see that and go, oh, that looks great. But if you're spending a lot of money on it's a high ticket item, right? It's not
A horse.
It's not $7.99. You know what I mean? It's a really high ticket offer. So what are we doing for these people here to keep them engaged? Cool, awareness, top of mind, pretty great. It shows that you're out there, you're current. It shows that you're out there as a brand. There are so many positives to doing this. Do not lose this part here.
Yeah.
Do not lose it. Whatever that might be for you, don't lose this part here because these are the people that are actually buying your product.
I think a lot of people sometimes get stuck though, Tash. They go, okay, that all sounds great, but how do we do that? Like, what kind of content?
Educational and informative, something that's relative to them.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's not just about telling them valuable stuff either.
No.
It's almost, you can pull the curtain back and do some behind the scenes stuff.
100%.
Hey, this is what we do in our morning routine. And also, this is why we do it.
Correct.
Because people go, okay, that's cool, but like, why do you do it? You know, so many questions that you can answer.
And that is, again, great. Yeah, exactly. It breeds loyalty and engagement. And people are engaged and they ask questions and they want to follow on and they want to see what happens next. And people like being taken on a journey. It goes back to storytelling. That's this thing, okay? These short clips, sexy clips, which we see across all businesses, all brands, right, okay? They're not necessarily telling a story. Some of them can do, some of them do it well. But we connect with stories and we connect with understanding people's journey. So how can you be infusing that into your content, you know?
Yeah, I feel like if the short
both.
content is part of like a bigger campaign that tells a story overall, then great. But I agree. Some people do it really well, but most people don't.
Yeah.
It's just
quick shot
flashing
things.
and oh yeah, cool.
Yeah. So it's going, how does it all tie in together and kind of what's the strategy here?
Yeah.
And I just think, I hope that this maybe increases people, people start thinking about what else they can do. YouTube, for example, is the biggest social media platform.
I know.
By
and
country mile.
It always feels weird to say that because
mile.
I don't feel like, even a lot of people I know in the circles I mix with, I don't think much people are like spending time on there. Which is weird because it is like statistically easily.
Statistically.
I do. I spend a lot of time on it. You know that.
Yeah.
I got the YouTube Premium. I got to skip those ads.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time on there. But if I look at that and you look at what people are watching, they are, you've got YouTube Shorts now, but then you've got that easily links to the YouTube full video. And so it's kind of going, if that's where we talked about eyeballs, if that's where people are spending their time, we need to be creating content for that as well, So it's an interesting time, but my message to everyone, as I always say this, is it's not just where are the eyeballs, where are your eyeballs that you're attracting, and what's understanding your audience and kind of what they're looking for.
Yeah.
There's obvious things like there's results, there's top line things, but I don't know, getting insight into your audience and understanding kind of what they need.
You've got to sit down and just unpack it all really and talk through it. And I feel like when we talk with our clients about this and we try and discover, what their audience is, what their journey looks like and what they're looking for.
Yeah.
They're little things that pop up. The more you talk about it, you go, oh, actually someone said this, or I've actually noticed that customers do this.
Yeah.
And it's probably not the first thing that comes to their mind. So sitting down and holding that space.
I've got an idea. Sorry, I'll go back to the horses, but it's just because we're in it at the moment.
Cool.
We someone said to us the other day, "Oh, I hate slow-mo of a horse," because when I'm buying a horse walks normally in front of me. Don't show me slow-mo. Now, that is something that I would not have thought of, right? I would never have thought of that in a million years. And they said, I do not want to see slow-mo. When I see a horse in real life, it doesn't do slow motion. So give it to me real life. And I was like,
Only the ones we've bought.
hey.
Oh, yeah.
But what I'm saying is that's something that I hadn't thought of before. And it's only when I spoke to someone who buys horses and that is what they do for a living, and then like that is their profession.
Yeah.
They were like, don't want to see it. I don't want to see slow-mo. So now I'm like, okay, well, when we're filming these horses, I'm not going to do slow-mo.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to say to my clients, hey, I mean, that's one person's opinion, don't get me wrong, but they're pretty big in the area.
Yeah.
So just asking people what they want.
Yeah. And like, I mean, the slow-mo shots like might have a place like a commercial or something, but more
100%.
awareness-based.
Advertising, pretty, beautiful, great, absolutely.
Yeah.
Practicality, no.
No good. Okay, well, gee whiz, I spent a lot of time on this TikTok. Anything else happening in the world recently, Tash, that you can think of? I've got a few things here myself.
Oh, go on then. You've done the research. I haven't.
Generative AI. I keep talking about this a lot. Generative video using AI.
Yeah, no.
We are evolving at a rapid rate of knots. I'm not quite sure if people have realized how quick we are.
I know, it's wild.
It's wild. Photo especially is even crazier. But the video side of things, I have got like some concerns that people might not be able to tell what's real anymore. Because I look at things and I go, I saw one. It was an ad. Someone was advertising some kind of like
Game?
No, it was like a video production company was advertising their services. Like, this is the videos we make, and I'm like, no, man, this is all made by AI. You didn't shoot any of this stuff, but it looked so, I guess, real.
Yeah.
A lot of people would have absolutely no idea that that's fake, but they're advertising it as like, this is what we can shoot for you. I'm like, you guys didn't shoot any of this shit.
Yeah, literally.
But anyway,
I think it's a worry when, like, I have seen celebrities advertising products on these platforms, and I'm like, well, that's a fake.
you're like, this.
Like,
I don't think
they won't. Yeah.
So unless you've got that, and it's
Whistle
already, the awareness. You're like, if it feels off, it probably is.
Yeah,
Like,
I
don't know about this. Like the cat that cooks stuff and makes the bread.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people probably know that that's not real. I haven't seen any cats making things in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I would say that maybe that's one not to worry about as much. But there are definitely other videos.
It's pretty good.
Where there are other videos where I go,
A cat
holy
can eat
heck.
my dough.
There are other videos where I kind of go,
Yeah.
hang on a minute, this is slightly concerning.
There's I just saw one the other day. It's called Hey Gen. HEYGEN. And what you do is, say I'm sitting here talking to you and I've got like a camera like recording what I'm saying. You upload it to this website and it can clone you. So it puts you in the same position, changes the background, but then you can type in what you want it to say.
Yeah.
And it will change your mouth and stuff. So you can make it say kind of anything you want. So a lot of people who are doing that personal branding kind of thing, a lot of stuff to camera, can now just upload a video and be like, cool, what am I going to talk about today? Just type in a whole bunch of stuff and it'll just spit it out.
But is that
Crazy.
But also,
Is it any different though to someone sitting down and doing it?
well, yeah, because your intonation is different, the way you express yourself is different. The problem that you have is that, like, conversations like this, which are organic and are natural and are not rehearsed, are probably where you get like real great golden nuggets of information. Whereas if I was to type something on what we've just talked about, it wouldn't feel as naturally. It might be a really good written article, but it wouldn't feel as natural as this, and it probably wouldn't be as engaging. So it depends. I'm not saying it's a no, but there are limitations with it as well.
Yeah.
It's definitely becoming easier to do these things.
Because we're running a little bit over time, I've got one last question for you, Tash. Do you watch video on Spotify?
No.
No, neither.
But I would.
When would you watch it, do you think?
Because I listen to podcasts in the car,
Yeah.
so therefore it would not be safe to watch a video.
Oh, of course not.
But I don't really listen to podcasts. The only time I really listen to podcasts are in the gym.
Yeah.
And when we're driving. So it's not really a time where I can be visually engaged. I'm just listening from an audio perspective.
Yeah.
But in saying that, when I do see them pop up, I do look at them, and I must say that they do grab the videos. When I see the podcasts cut down, and they really grab my attention on like the socials and stuff like that, the videos, I find really, really engaging. It's just.
But wait, are you seeing those cut downs on Spotify, or is it on like Instagram?
No, sorry, that's
Boomerang.
yeah.
Interesting.
Don't call it boomerang.
Okay, Instagram.
Yeah, I don't see
Instagram.
them on I don't see them on Spotify. No.
The only reason I bring it up is because they're introducing video ads on this, which I thought was
Something we should explore.
Yeah, I know, but I just wonder like what the viewership's like, because, like you say, usually when you use Spotify, you're doing something where you can't sit down and watch. That's why, like, YouTube different.
Yeah, YouTube different.
Actively engage with it.
Yeah.
Whereas Spotify, it's kind of just a bit passive in the background there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting and see whether that's a service that we can start providing for our clients. You know.
Oh, 100%. It'd be no different to YouTube pre-roll, that kind of thing that already exists.
Yeah.
Which goes really good. So.
Okay, so one last question for you.
Oh.
What are your 2025 predictions then when it comes to video marketing?
Geez, Tash, you really put me on the spot here.
Yeah, no, it's good, isn't it?
Predictions. I think the hype reel stuff will die away a bit.
Yeah.
Because I actually felt like this last year, we were getting so much of it, like really quick cuts, like, and I'm like, whoa, fucking what the hell's going on? And before I know it, I'm like, what the hell just happened?
But you're also like, who's the brand? This is really cluttered.
Yeah.
What else have
I got to... I mean, the generative video will... In 12 months' time, I don't know where we're going to be.
Yeah.
If you can clone yourself and make a video of yourself talking to camera, then in 12 months' time, that's only happened in the last few months.
I know.
And I don't know. We haven't started using it that much because we do quite a lot of, like you say, conversational, documentary, fly in the wall type stuff. So
personal stuff.
Yeah,
you'll never replace you. You can get someone to say a few sentences. You're never gonna replace that engagement and that the naturalness of being a human being.
Yeah, I think it's been said the last sort of 10 years that video is the biggest growing type of content there is.
It is.
And I still think we haven't even got to the ceiling yet.
Nope.
There's gonna be more and more and more. And I think obviously at the moment there's a lot of stuff that's getting created just off the phone and stuff, which is great for time.
Yeah, but because I know that it's on a phone.
I know.
I can see it, and I'm like, I hate it.
It is though. It depends what it is. like. If it's just UGC or
UGC is fine
in the moment, then that's fine.
Yeah. But when I see stuff that I'm like, that should have been shot professionally, and it's been shot on a phone.
What are your predictions then? Because I don't really have any apart from
I don't really have
those small ones. Like,
I would say, we will get. I think we will get sick of just quick, short, real form content.
Yeah.
I think we will.
I wonder if there will be like a wellness movement that tries to take us away from, when you're bored, first thing you do, whip out the phone, right?
I'm terrible for it.
Have a scroll. Oh, 100%. I've noticed. And
okay.
And I wonder if there's going to be a movement, like a holistic movement to say, hey guys, when you're bored, just don't pull the phone out.
I know.
Be in the moment. Go and maybe do something. Call someone.
But I would say it's not really out of I don't do it out of boredom. We don't have time in our life to be bored. It's more like I do it out of habit. So it's different. It's kind of like, for me, if I...
Vaping.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Yeah, I didn't really think about it like that. But yeah. I do it out of habit, not boredom. So it's not like I'm looking for something to do and I'll pick up my phone. I will literally be in the middle of something and sit down and pick up my phone out of habit, which I don't know if it's worse.
Yeah, it's a good point. It probably is worse.
It's probably worse. It's not, I don't have any time to be bored, really. But yeah, oh my God, habit. Just sit down, whack it up.
Yeah.
But I really don't do it when I'm with, but when I'm with my friends, my phone's in my bag. Like I'm really not on my phone at all. And I think you would say that as well. Like,
yeah, I think I've noticed that as well. And especially with the people that we sort of hang out with at the moment. Like, I think some people subconsciously put their phone away and don't use it. Whereas other people like me, I'll consciously go and put it somewhere.
Yeah.
And then just be engaged in conversation. Other times, I'll have it out from having the punt on the horses or something.
Yeah.
But I think, a lot of people are starting to be a bit more conscious of in a social situation.
Well, I know my friends that will
put the phone down, guys.
I know my friends that will be chatting and they'll start, they'll be on their phones. Whereas I think it's different if I'm just on the sofa with one of the girls. But if I'm with my friends in a group situation, I do not look at my phone at all.
I just don't have the mental capacity to look at my phone and talk to someone at the same time. I can't do it.
I know. When I'm in the middle of a conversation and then I'm like, oh, okay, we're on the phone now.
What?
Yeah.
See?
But I can do both.
Good, basta. Anyway, all right. Hey, look, this wraps up another podcast, I think.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more exciting insights
into video marketing.
Beg for me, beg for me.
I know shorty and she doesn't want no slow song. Had a man last year, life goes on.